Hi, welcome back. I'm Suzette Burrow.
And I'm Andrew Burrow.
And we're going to be covering the third law today in Atomic Habits, which is make it easy.
See, I love this part because when things are easy, they happen.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to form good, positive habits, the more difficult those things are, the less likely they are to happen.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly. And it says, walk slowly, but never backwards.
Yeah. The most effective form of learning is practice, not planning. So I think the key thing there is to actually get started with whatever it is that you want to do, because you can't do anything, you can't create an effective habit, you can't do any of those things unless you actually get started.
Right. It says focus on taking action, not on motion.
Yep.
It's like one of those things, I think it's in another book, and I don't quite remember which one, but it's like ready, aim.
Yeah.
And you never quite fire, and that's the problem. You got to just start it.
Yep. And the next thing they talk about in this part, as far as making it easy, is that you shouldn't focus on the amount of time you actually perform a habit. You should actually focus on how many times you perform the habit. So it's like, if you're going to create a positive habit, look to how many times you're doing it versus just the overall span of time you spend on it, right?
Yeah, that's a great point. One of the things that I think about is reading.
Yep.
So if you want to start a habit in reading, you don't say, I'm going to read every day for an hour.
Or I'm going to read this whole book.
Because that is a big thing to start a habit. But you can say, I'm going to read 1 page before I go to bed, or I'm going to read 10 pages. But whatever it is, you need to start small. Creating that consistent action is what creates the habit.
Yep. All right, the next thing they go into in the chapter is the law of least effort.
Yes.
Right?
Human behavior follows the law of least effort and says that we will naturally gravitate toward the option that requires the least amount of work.
Yeah, path of least resistance is what, we refer to a lot in the car business, is that, people tend to go and find the easiest way to the end result. So that this is a perfect example of that.
It's human nature. And then it goes into, which I think we've covered in previous videos, is create an environment where doing the right thing is as easy as possible.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. It's like junk food, right?
Yeah.
If you are trying to eliminate junk food or eat healthy on the other side of that, you want to create the environment that makes it easy for you to eat healthy. Stock your fridge full of the good healthy stuff. Get rid of all the junk food out of your pantry. You got to make that environment easy.
Right. Right.
Prime your environment to make future actions easier.
Right. And then the next thing he goes in, and a lot of us have problems with this, is procrastination. How to stop procrastinating by using the 2-minute rule.
Well, for one, I'm a big procrastinator. It's something that I'm really, really good at. But I like the 2-minute rule because it goes into creating a habit and making sure it doesn't last longer than 2 minutes. And you have a few examples of those, right?
Yeah, there's a few examples. Read before bed each night becomes read 1 page.
Yeah.
Do 30 minutes of yoga. Take out the yoga mat. Study for class. Open my notes.
Yeah.
Just doing those little things will help you achieve the habit that you really want.
Well, it just goes back to getting started, but you don't need to take big chunks of that start to get started. It can be one small little step.
Right. And then he talks about decisive moments. The fork in the road. You have a decision to make, and you can either make a good decision or a bad decision that starts your day.
Yeah, one is heading towards a good positive habit, good decision. The other one is taking you down the inverse of that. So,
yeah, and one example is making your bed in the morning.
Which you do every day.
I do every day, and you start your day by doing something good and productive, and it gets you in that right mindset to follow through on that.
Yeah, no doubt.
And make other positive choices throughout the day.
The next thing I like is a habit must be established before it can be optimized. I mean, it's kind of hard to improve upon something if you haven't actually started the habit.
Right.
You
got to start.
Yeah. Standardize before you optimize. You can't improve a habit that doesn't exist.
Right. The last part in making it easy is how to make good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible.
The first part of this I really like is automating things. Whether you're going to use technology or environment or whatever else you're doing, the more automatic a habit becomes in your life, the more likely you are to stick with it.
Right.
So we do talk about technology. setting your phone alarms when you want to get up for a particular thing or a particular amount of time you want to spend doing it. They talk about time and place earlier in the book. And this is a great way of setting those times and places in order to stick with a habit.
Yeah. And he gives other examples like medicine, prescriptions can be automatically filled.
Yeah.
He says personal finances, employees can save for retirement with an automatic wage deduction.
Yeah.
Cooking, meal delivery services can do grocery shopping. Automating these things, if we want to be healthier, we can think about going to the grocery store and not going to the grocery store when we're hungry. And you can pre-shop or pre-decide what you're going to do, and automates it.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me, at least on the financial side of things, was doing that automatic deduction in your 401.
You don't even think about
401k. The money's gone into your retirement before you get a chance to spend it.
Right.
So it makes that a good positive habit for savings.
Yeah. Well, that kind of wraps up making it easy, law number 3. So we'll be back for law 4, make it satisfying. We'll see y'all then.
See ya.
Bye.